A fishing boat vanishes off the coast of Scotland in under 2 minutes. No mayday, no survivors. 4 men dragged into freezing darkness by something they never saw coming. For 30 years, the full story stayed buried in classified Navy files. This is what really happened beneath the waves that night. To understand how this happened, we need to go back 12 hours to 2 separate vessels on 2 separate missions, heading toward the same deadly intersection. One above the water, one below, neither knowing the other exists. The HMS Trenchant, an 85-meter nuclear submarine carrying 120 personnel. But today, she's carrying something more dangerous. 6 trainees. They're part of the Royal Navy's Perisher Course, a 24-week gauntlet considered one of the most brutal command programs in the world. Most candidates fail, some never command again. Leading them is a 41-year-old officer with 18 years of submarine experience, a man who's run these drills hundreds of times. For the past 4 days, they've been running exercises in the dark waters between Scotland and the Faroe Islands, navigation drills, evasion maneuvers, simulated torpedo runs. By November 21st, the course has already broken 2 of the 6 trainees. Only 4 remain. Tonight, they're about to face a test none of them trained for. 140 miles south in the small fishing village of Carradale, 4 men are preparing for sea, the Antares, a 57-foot wooden trawler, older than most of her crew. Her skipper is 36 years old. He bought this boat 3 years ago and has fished these waters his entire life. Tonight is supposed to be routine. 5 days trawling the deep trenches of the Clyde, then home. He kisses his family goodbye and casts off into the night. 11 p.m. The Antares heads northeast toward Inchmarnock Water, a fishing ground he's worked 100 times before. 2 other trawlers, the Heroine and Hercules, are already out there. It's a clear night, light winds, 8-mile visibility, perfect conditions. The 4 men have no idea they have less than 4 hours to live. November 21st, 11:30 p.m. The Trenchant enters the Clyde training area for her final exercise, a dummy mine-laying drill in the narrow Hunter's Channel. A surface ship, the HMS Curacoa, will act as an enemy vessel. The submarine's job is to evade detection while completing the mission. It's a technically demanding exercise in confined waters. High stress, high stakes. By 1:30 a.m., the drill is complete. The Trenchant surfaces to periscope depth for a final scan. The duty captain sweeps the horizon. He reports seeing only the Curacoa, no other vessels. The exercise is declared successful. At 2 a.m., the Trenchant dives to 60 meters and sets a course northwest toward the Isle of Arran. Speed, 6 knots. Depth, 60 meters. At this point, the course leader and ship's captain retire to the wardroom to debrief. Command is handed over to a trainee. It's his moment to prove himself. Above the surface, the Antares is towing northwest through the deep trench. The skipper makes a routine VHF radio call to the Heroine, another trawler fishing nearby. He tells them he's heading below deck for a short rest. Another crew member takes the wheel. Over and out, he says. It's the last transmission anyone will hear from the Antares. At 2:05 a.m., the Heroine's watchkeeper glances back and sees the Antares making a turn to starboard, swinging from southeast to northwest. Everything looks normal. He watches for a moment, then turns away. By 2:10 a.m., both the Heroine and Hercules notice something strange. The Antares has disappeared from their radar, but they assume she's just moved to another fishing ground. No alarm is raised. Below the surface, the Trenchant is running silent at 60 meters. The trainee captain orders a course change, 315 degrees true north. Instantly, sonar contacts appear on the screen. Contact M1, the Curacoa, departing the area. Contact 3, unknown. Contact 5, a fishing vessel. The sonar operator listens. Contact 5 signal is shifting rapidly, growing louder, 35 decibels. That's close, very close. The trainee captain's eyes widen. He orders a hard turn to port. The submarine's bow swings through the water, but the sonar operator's voice cuts through the control room. Contact 5 closing rapidly, well inside 2,000 yards. The captain eases the rudder, trying to slow the approach, but it's too late. 2:19 a.m. Bang, bang, bang. The submarine shudders. Metallic screeching echoes through the hull. Trawl snag! The sonar operator shouts. Engines stop. Steel cables scrape along the Trenchant's tower. Then, through the sonar operator's headset, a sound that makes his blood run cold. A propeller, spinning up fast. The course leader sprints back to the control room and seizes command. For the 4 men aboard the Antares, the next 90 seconds are pure chaos. One moment, they're peacefully towing throwing nets. The next, crack. The trawl wires snap tight like steel cables in a car accident. The boat lurches violently, throwing men across the deck. Then comes the pull. Something massive, something incomprehensible is dragging them backward. The Antares tilts 20 degrees, 40 degrees. Water floods into the open wheelhouse. The skipper and a crew member claw toward the controls, desperately trying to power the engines and break free. They try to pry open the wheelhouse windows, but the water is already chest high. Within 90 seconds, the Antares rolls onto her side and slips beneath the surface. All 4 men go down with her. No time for a mayday, no time for anything. Minutes later, the trenchant rises to periscope depth. The captain scans the horizon. 2 trawlers fishing as normal. Calm seas, no distress signals. Everything looks fine. He radios the Curacoa. Any alarms raised? Negative. Still uneasy, he orders the submarine to surface. The crew climbs topside and finds steel cables tangled around the submarine's tower. Fishing gear. But where's the boat? The captain stares out at the dark water. 2 trawlers in the distance. No signs of distress. He makes a decision. Radio Faslane Naval Base and report a possible trawl snag. The operator on the other end confirms. No distress calls received. At 3:15 a.m., the decision is made to continue the exercise. 150 meters below them, the Antares sits on the sea floor. 4 men still trapped inside. 6 hours pass. By 9 a.m., the alarm is finally raised. Ships in the area report debris, fish boxes, oil slicks, floating wreckage. A helicopter crew is dispatched. From the air, they see the telltale signs of disaster. The full horror of what happened begins to take hold. After a day of searching, sonar identifies a wreck on the seafloor, 150 meters deep, lying on her starboard side, facing northeast. It's the Antares. Saturation divers are sent down. The confirmation comes back. All 4 crew members are still aboard. Over the following weeks, the wreck is slowly raised. When she's finally brought to the surface, investigators make a disturbing discovery. The Antares is almost completely intact. The hull is undamaged. The electrical systems failed from seawater, but structurally, the boat could have floated. So why did she sink so fast? The answer lies in the trawl cables. When the submarine snagged the Antares nets, the sheer force pulled the boat backward and over, like a fish caught on a line. The open wheelhouse flooded instantly. The crew had no chance. The official investigation reveals multiple failures. The trenchant's watchkeeping team didn't realize the single sonar contact was actually 2 vessels fishing close together. Royal Navy standing orders required submarines to stay 2,000 yards clear of fishing vessels. The trenchant's own captain had ordered his officers to call him if any contact came within 4,000 yards. Both rules were violated. The trainee captain never called for help. As a result of this disaster, the Royal Navy implemented sweeping changes. Mandatory 3,000-yard separation from fishing vessels. Submarines must surface when not on active duty. Support vessels must be present during all training exercises. For the families of the Antares, these changes came too late. The wreck spent 18 years on display at the Scottish Maritime Museum in Irvine, a haunting reminder of 4 lives lost to a single catastrophic mistake. In 2008, she was finally dismantled. Today, if you visit Caradale, you'll see the same pier where the Antares once docked. The same boats, the same nets hanging from their ropes. Fishermen still head out at night, towing the same waters where 4 men vanished in 1990. But if you walk to the seawall and look east toward the Isle of Arran, you'll see something else. A small bronze plaque, 4 names. A skipper, 36 years old, 3 crew members, men who left for a routine fishing trip and never came home. The sea doesn't forget. And now, neither will we.